Welcome back to the FlameFlash.net podcast. Hooray, we're back! Welcome to 2014. I am FlameFlash, and I've been busy. Very busy. So I apologize. However, we should be getting back into the swing of things now. So with that, let's hit some of this backlog of Raptr reporting, shall we? What the crap have I been gaming? If I've been so busy that I can't podcast, how can I possibly have been gaming? I haven't been much. For instance, the last time I left you guys, Super Mario World showed up. We Fit You, Terraria, I think that was the kids. Sonic and All-Stars Racing transformed. Now, this one I hadn't actually played in a while, and I was really sad to see that there was nobody online for the Wii U. Absolutely no one. I don't know if it was because of the time I was trying to play or what, but it's a great single-player experience, which is what I played it as for that one. But I would have also liked to have raced online. And it was sad that nobody was. I don't know if this is perhaps because of Wii U's sales numbers, or the fact that since it was a launch title, nobody's playing it anymore. I just don't know. New Super Mario Luigi U was that week. Great game. More progress was made. Also solo. And it was also the last time that I did a Friday Night Magic. I think I did mediocre. That's natural. And Wintervale came and went in World of Warcraft while I was gone. Participated in it a little bit. Got the new pet. The new leper gnome-ish looking pet. But nothing overly eventful other than that. Now, come the weeks afterwards, like, the 29th, or the 22nd through the 29th, this is Christmas break now. Excellent. So, Tank 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 shows up. The kids got it for Christmas. Good game. It's nice to not be limited anymore by the free-to-play limitations. It's a great group game. Fantastic. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Really cute Lego game. If you like the Marvel Universe, if you like the massive amount of characters you can potentially unlock, they've barely scraped the surface of this game. And I've barely touched it myself, but it's wonderful. Lots of unlockables. I'll let them continue going. We Fit You. Super Mario 3D World. Fantastic. It deserves the title from IGN of Best Wii U Game of 2013. It's so fantastic, in fact, that Newbie, the almost 3-year-old, kills the gamepad battery with her desire to play it. Now, we have a newborn. So Newbie's getting away with extra game time than we would otherwise allow. But it's that fantastic of a game. The ability to play as Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach. You know, the classic four that you got to play in Super Mario Bros. 2 with all the same abilities. Toad's fast pickup has been replaced simply by being faster. So he can run faster than everybody else. But otherwise, it's just like it was before. I'm usually Luigi still. Love his jumping prowess. And it's what I'm used to jumping as, especially from New Luigi U. So the controls between the two, he still feels the same, which is really awesome that they managed to do that. Well, Magic the Gathering shows up again. Odd. Maybe I did get to sneak some kind of magic in. NES Remix. Now here was another awesome, awesome surprise. It just takes all your classic Nintendo games and gives you simple little scenarios and says, go forth and conquer. For instance, I'm stuck on the Super Mario Brothers one where you're the turtle on the you're bouncing on the turtle in World 3-1, the infinite lives trick. I could never accomplish that back in the day. So now I'm stuck on it on Remix. I just can't get past it. I have beat all of the Donkey Kong challenges. I'll probably go back and just kind of try to get through each game as I go. The remixed challenges are impressively hard sometimes because they take the old, awkward, sometimes control schemes of, say, Excite Bike and say, do this slightly differently than you were used to from back in the day. StarCraft 2. Oldest and I have been greatly enjoying StarCraft 2 together. He got his own license for Christmas, so now he's able to fully explore all three races and fully explore the matchmaking of the challenge modes versus AI. He's having a blast unlocking the achievements, and I've had a blast experimenting with him with all the different races. I just can't get the hang of the Zerg at all. Logically speaking, they're in far left field while I'm sitting at home plate scratching my head going, huh? Turning my workers into the buildings and having to babysit, say, the brood mothers is really strange. Now, I know some of it is probably because I'm still very much a StarCraft noob and haven't gotten used to, say, key binding buildings, haven't gotten used to, say, using the keyboard hotkey shortcuts, and so I'm still clicking a lot more than I probably should. Raptr finally added the Street Pass games as of this last week as of the 22nd to 29th week. So all the Street Pass games are showing up on my Raptr report because I'm catching up. The 3DS has that great statistics app, so I know exactly how much time I invested in the Street Pass game, or the Street Pass app. So I just took all the games, divided the total time by 6, and I've been slowly trying to catch up. So my time's a little bit off as far as the week goes, but when you look at it from a macro view, it's accurate. And of course, more WoW, mostly just Wintervale. And of course, Christmas came and went. Jerks parked on top of the gifts under the tree. Jerks parked on top of the Grinch Killer quest. But it all worked out in the end. The next week, so from the 29th to the 5th, not so much gaming. Because the Thunderer, the newborn, was born on the 29th. Kind of have my hands full helping out and doing other things, WoW scored lowest. Then Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri Alien Crossfire. This is one of those perfect games to hold while holding a newborn sleeping, because it's just point and click. It's turn-based, so the moment they get fussy, you can just get up and walk away. It's a classic. It's the game I played all night long when the oldest was born, because I wasn't allowed to stay overnight in the hospital room since it was a shared room. After that first night, she got to move to a different one, but I couldn't sleep anyway. I was too excited. So, to be able to play this game with the fifth now sleeping on me, I feel like I've come full circle. It was available for really cheap on goodoldgames.com, GOG.com, I think it was. And that and StarCraft received the bulk of the time the week of the Thunderer's birth. This last week, things slowly began to get a little more normal. We Fit You shows up, NES Remix, played a little Diablo 3 with the son, small amount of World of Warcraft, a lot of Super Mario 3D World. As I said, newbie loves this game. So she grabs a controller and goes, "Dada, you Luigi? You my Luigi?" How can you say no to a beautiful, almost 3-year-old begging you to play with her? It's you can't, unless you want to feel like an absolutely horrible person. Which I've had to feel like an absolutely horrible person a couple of times, but not always. So it racks up there pretty high. As did StarCraft 2. As did Alpha Centauri. Because I got to hold the Thunderer. And then Beyond Two Souls. So after everybody goes to bed, this was the game I got for Christmas. Or one of them. The kids also got me Mario 3D World. Give a gift that you would enjoy yourself. The rule still stands true. But Beyond Two Souls for the PS3, it's M-rated, so I've been playing it after the kids go to bed. It is definitely a choose-your-own-adventure book. It is an interactive movie. Some of the control schemes are a little wonky at times, especially for the high stress, high stakes. You need to be moving from point A to point B faster. The combat system feels absolutely horrible, but there's not a lot of combat. So the few times there are, I'm able to forgive it. I wish it was simpler as far as the combat goes, but because you have to interpret what's happening on the screen as it goes in slow motion. It's like a QuickTime event. So if she is thrusting out with her hands to do a block, you have to push in that direction with the right joystick. Well, it's not always clear exactly what direction she's going, and so you push the opposite way and she gets slammed in the head. It's not enough of a negative for me to say don't buy it. The negative I've heard about it is it drives some people nuts that it's mostly just a choose-your-own-adventure story. This is an interactive movie. It is not a game. It is an interactive movie. You're going to feel on the edge of your seat, quote-unquote, playing it. Experiencing it would be a better term, though. because that's what you're doing with it. And I have so far absolutely loved the story. I am hooked, and I'm near the end. 10 hours in, almost 10 hours in. So it's stolen me away from Warcraft. So that tells you something. I've stayed up really late with it, and a comparable game by the same publisher, same team, Heavy Rain. I did the same thing. I will likely go back and re-experience some of the scenes that I don't feel I did as well as I could have to see the rest of the story. But I can't really discuss them without spoilers. And it's still too new of a game. Far too new. But it's really good. If you liked Heavy Rain, get it. If you loved Heavy Rain, you should already be ordering it. If you couldn't stand the control system on Heavy Rain, but still liked it, maybe check and see if Redbox has it first, because you should check it out at that point. Definitely received mixed reviews. There's a reason for it. I see the complaints about it, but it's still good. I still really like it. So, what about after the Raptr report? We've had a good month of some neat tidbits of stuff. The site itself, flameflash.net, is catching up. I have got some posts backlogged, posted. I have some posts scheduled for into the future. And I still have some posts to schedule and get ready. But it's going well. And I am excited for everybody to finally see the Thunderer on the blog. But I wanted to give the kids their time in the spotlight as well, and get all the great pictures I have of them that were backlogged on at least for a day each before they possibly get bumped down. News-wise, out in the education sector, talk to your kids about drugs. Don't accept any offers. Fortunately, we're in a really small town, but you never know. Not only is there the true thing out there, but there's also undercover officers performing entrapment procedures. Seriously. It's going to be in the show notes. Just read it and be flabbergasted by it. There is the Target card breach out there. I have my new Target card at this point already. Fortunately, that's the only card I use at Target, so that's the only card that even possibly was breached. So I'm thankful for that. We're just kind of rapid fire because some of these are slightly old, but this is still important to at least gently touch. Missouri would like to ban federal gun laws. I think Missouri forgot about the U.S. Constitution, just slightly. I find this really funny. I really look forward to seeing what happens when that eventually goes to court. Amazon revoked access rights to Christmas movies. So, the kids love this game so much, Super Mario 3D World, that the disc got scratched. There is something to be said about the digital format because then the disc never would have gotten scratched. But Amazon went and revoked on their Prime system and on their purchased system access to these movies, these Christmas movies, during Christmas. So the movie that you bought, due to the terms of service, Disney denied you access to them because they wanted exclusive rights during the Christmas season. There's also something to be said against digital. Because if you own those DVDs, you own them. And you can put them in whenever you want and use them. Sure, they can get scratched, but nobody outside of your home can say, oh, nope, 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 you can't play that right now. Off in the tech world, politics, NSA's phone spying is unconstitutional and constitutional. What? What? Yeah, different courts, different appellate courts. This is one bound for the Supreme Court. I look forward to seeing that one happen. I'm praying it happens soon. The NSA can also access your Wi-Fi from about 8 miles away. Hi, guys. Hi. 8 miles away for me, well, 8 miles in any direction for me, and you're sitting in farmland. So, it's going to be rather conspicuous for a white truck to be sitting on the side of the road in farmland. People will stop and ask if you need anything, or if you need help. One driver stopped and asked if I needed any help when I had a flat tire, for instance, along those roads. Help was already on the way, fortunately. Police can raid without a warrant based on a source. If I fully recall this article, it's in the show notes, so it might be wiser to look at this one. But the source could potentially be another officer who wants the place raided. I'd have to re-review that one, but it's really stinky. Just reeks to high heaven of the abuses of power. Like women's search, and then being billed by the hospital for being searched. Seriously, guys? Bill the people that demanded the search, not the poor woman that got searched. That's disturbing. Drug dog science is being called into question again. The dogs being very happy to please, happy, you need to be pleased. They read their owner, their handler, and go, yes, there's something here, there, right here, right, yep. You want it to be here, right. So there's too much of a rapport between the handler and the dog, and you get false positives. Too many false positives for the drug dog to seriously be okay. Now, how they did this, feel free to, argue against or refute and whatnot, give me some other study, but they sent a drug dog team into a room and said, find the drugs. Where were the drugs? There weren't any. And yet, all but 2 teams found something. If there's nothing to find, then if the dog is the star of the show, the dog wouldn't smell anything and move on. But since the handler is sending the dog cues, either subconsciously or consciously, The dog goes, "Oh, it's right here, right? Right? It's right here." Highly disappointing. So, if you're stopped, if you're searched just based on the suspicion of a drug dog, you can likely sue the department later because of it. U.S. government near top in Google removal requests. Thought this was the land of the free and the home of the brave. So, Google receives a lot of information request removals. They don't comply with many, but the U.S. government was the top offender of, "Hey Google, could you please remove this from your search terms? Please? Please?" The polar vortex caused Minnesota governor to close all schools on January 6th. It was that cold. Now, today, heat wave! Heat wave! Yesterday, ha ha ha, we had 30 degrees. Bunch of pansies. But we'd been seeing negative. What was it on NPR that they said, oh, we were colder than Mars? Chicago was colder than the Arctic. That's cold. The Jib Jab year in review came out. Kind of. Not really. They must have had a really small budget this year. That's all I have to say. Because usually I highlight it as in, hey, go look and see that it's come out. And this year it's just not worth it. I miss most of the references, either because I haven't been paying attention to pop culture or because they just did that bad of a job. Probably a little bit of both. I mean, they got the big things like New Pope, but really, really lousy as compared to previous years. It's just been, quality's been dipping down quite a bit. Felt like a last minute thing. To close out, we'll go back to gaming. A couple of Konami Classic arcade games are now missing from the PlayStation Network. Simpsons, Turtles in Time, but they're still on the Xbox for some reason. No comment at the time that I put this on there. I'm glad that I have it already on my account, but then again, digital rights. If I ever do anything to that hard drive on the PS3, I am definitely going to back it up first. Just in case. Just in case. PlayStation Now for the PS4 has been announced. This is backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 4. So you can stream games. It's going to be a streaming game service for PlayStation 3 and older games. Cool. Really cool. Me, I'll hang on to my PS3. But my, launch PS3 that is fully backwards compatible with all the hardware in there. But PlayStation Now sounds really cool. And finally, Magic the Gathering Modern Event Deck announced. So you get sleeves, you get cards, you get your full 75 card deck, 60 in a sideboard. You get some tokens. You get a life counter, spin down life counter. It's a 20-sided die, but it starts at 20 and you can just roll it down. So it's not a fully randomized 19. 1, like the ring I got for Christmas. 15. For $75 though. Ouch. Most event decks run 20 for, Friday Night Magic event decks. It is a heck of a lot harder to break into modern, just because there's such a modern is anything with the new current format of how a card looks. You know, anything that looks like this. For those of you who are not watching the YouTube, anything from the 2000s, early 2000s on, they changed the appearance, and so it's from that point, the appearance change, forward. With some exceptions, of course. But $75. To keep the game fresh, it makes sense. To keep the game and that segment of the game, to bring more people in, it makes sense. My kids, they're not going to have a modern collection dating all the way back to 2000. In the year 2000. They're just not going to. But this is a way to break in for those who desperately want to break in for $75. Can't wait to see how much some game shops actually try to sell them for. Like the Commander Arsenal decks. Yeesh. $80 for some of them? Just the ready-made Commander decks? Ouch. I'm lucky enough to have a nice library of cards, so I didn't jump on that. But I was interested. Just not going to pay more than the retail price. But I'm back, and I am Flameflash. Podcast at flameflash.net. Twitter at Flameflash. Facebook. We have a Facebook fan page that receives all of the new posts that go to the blogs. Come and know us better. Happy New Year. I'm going to go check on Red Flare and the Thunderer. And signing off.